Hello out there to all the traders that coming from Oriental Pacific Futures based in Malaysia. Well, this is Dawang here. Once again, I'm back here to give you on the weekly podcast on behalf of OPF. And definitely, I'm one of your favorite market opinion leaders here, giving you on the outlook of FCPO every weekend. All right, on the SCPO prices, the active month is still August, and on last Friday, the market closed at the price of 2413, and that was 2,412 ringgit per ton. All right, in the August delivery month. And where the market be going, let us start off by looking at the weekly chart. All right, we should look at it at this corner. It shows us that this is a weekly chart. All right. And on the weekly chart itself, the weekly bar is pretty neutral, and it shows us that the selling pressure has come to a temporarily um, correction, all right, and a hot where this coming week market could be making a small correction upward. All right, but where is it going? We are still not sure until we look at the day chart. All right. By looking at the day chart, all right, the market actually has formed a low last week at 2374. All right, pay attention to the y-axis here at 2374, and the market actually pulled up to close at 2413 on Friday. And from the day chart here, we've seen that the market has almost come down for last 3 weeks to about a month. All right, and it is still quite unsure on this week if the market is continue to break down or going to turn up to form a short covering correction. But in any way, all right, bear in mind that if the market happens to break below 2373, or we put a big figure if the market breaks below 2370, all right, 2,370 ringgit per ton in the August prices, then there's a tendency of the market to go down further and test to a lower bottom. But before we look at how low the market will go down, let us take a look and make a study on the hourly chart, which is the 60-minute chart, and see what are the chances of the potential market moving up. All right, from this hourly chart, all right, you would have seen that the market is forming a W sign, and the EMA crossings of the 40 and 20 days are actually beginning to converge upward. So there is a tendency for the market to correct upwards instead of coming down. All right, so now we have to start discover, all right, and to make an estimation if the market happens to move up, all right, how high it will go up. And by looking at the Fibonacci potential on the retracement benchmark, all right, there is a tendency that the market, if it happen to go up, then 33% would be sticking at the region of 2460. Pay attention to here, all right, a 33% correction upward will be hitting at 2,460 ringgit per ton before the market happens to come down again. So from the first study here, all right, we are actually carrying the opinion that if the market happens to move up this week on a correction, there is a tendency to form a double top here in the region of 2460. All right, 2460. Then, of course, on the downside, if the market breaks below 2370, as we mentioned earlier, all right, if it breaks below 2370, moving back to the weekly chart, then the market may actually be going forward to a bottom anyway into the region of 2280 to 2360, which is quite a large trend potential at the bottom if the market happens to move on the downside room. All right, so this week, if you ask my own opinion, I would prefer to see a market moving up to do a correction, because definitely that will give us a better opportunity to capture on the short entry on this pull-up retracement, and prepare for the market on the down move over the next few weeks. But of course, another reason is looking at the weekly chart here. All right, we are still on the weekly chart. The market has been coming down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 6 continual weeks, and it is very potential for the market to start doing a short-term correction over next 1 to 2 weeks on the top side before the downtrend continues again. All right, so to put a very short summary before we close on this weekly podcast, all right, the market on this week, if it happens to do a correction upward, then we are looking at 2460 on the top side for the market correction to accomplish. All right, on the downside, if it breaks below 2370, then there could be a free fall coming down to the region of at least 2,300 and 2300, 2,300 ringgit per ton, or even lower to 2260. All right, so this is the end of the podcast here, and not forgetting, my name is Dawong here, your favorite market opinion leader from Oriental Pacific Futures. And do come back to us on every Monday in the beginning of the new week that we will continue to show you on the weekly podcast of FCPO prices trading in Bursa, Malaysia. Thank you very much, and until we meet again next week and give you on the outlook. Thank you very much. Bye bye.